Have you ever wondered what extinct animals the ancient Egyptians may have encountered in their daily lives? In the heart of the world's oldest civilization, the lands of ancient Egypt, a remarkable array of biodiversity thrived. Here, among the golden dunes and the life-giving Nile, the ancient Egyptians shared their world with an assortment of creatures, some of which have long since vanished from the face of the earth. The ancient Egyptians were not merely passive observers of their natural surroundings. They were keenly aware of the animals that shared their land, from the smallest insects to the most formidable predators. This ancient civilization had a deep reverence for the natural world, a reverence that was reflected in their religion, their art, and their daily lives. So how do we know about the animals that lived in ancient Egypt? Many clues have been left behind for us to discover. The ancient Egyptians were prolific record keepers, documenting their encounters with animals through intricate hieroglyphics. These ancient texts, carved into stone and painted on the walls of tombs, provide us with a glimpse into the natural world of ancient Egypt. But hieroglyphics are not the only evidence we have. The ancient Egyptians also preserved the remains of animals through a process known as mummification. Animals were mummified for a variety of reasons, from being buried as food for the afterlife to being worshipped as sacred beings. These preserved remains have provided scientists with valuable information about the species that once roamed the lands of ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians' records and preserved remains have enabled us to unravel the mysteries of the extinct animals they once knew. From the fearsome Saber-Toothed Cats to the majestic Woolly Mammoths and the towering Giant Moa Birds, the ancient Egyptians coexisted with some of the most fascinating creatures that have ever walked, swam, or flown on this planet. So, ready to embark on a fascinating journey to uncover the extinct animals that once roamed the lands of ancient Egypt? Imagine a predator larger than a modern lion with long curved sabers for teeth. Welcome to the world of saber-toothed cats. Picture this: an animal with the strength and size of a lion, but with a bite far more fearsome. This is no ordinary feline. This is the saber-toothed cat, a beast that prowled the earth tens of thousands of years ago. It was an apex predator, roaming the wilds of North and South America, Europe and Asia, standing out with its iconic elongated canine teeth. These teeth, which could grow up to 7 inches long, were not just for show. They were lethal weapons used to deliver a devastating killing blow to prey. The saber-toothed cats were not a single species but a group of prehistoric predators that shared these distinctive dental characteristics. Different species varied in size and build, but most were muscular and robust, larger than today's big cats and comparable in size to the largest modern bears. Their powerful limbs and necks suggest that they were ambush predators, relying on strength rather than speed to take down their prey. Now let's journey to ancient Egypt, a civilization that coexisted with these magnificent creatures. The ancient Egyptians' world was filled with a myriad of animals, some of which are now extinct, including our saber-toothed cats. Evidence of their existence during this era can be found in hieroglyphics and fossil records. Hieroglyphics, the writing system of the ancient Egyptians, often depicted animals, including large, predatory cats. Some of these depictions match the physical characteristics of saber-toothed cats, suggesting they were part of the Egyptians' fauna. Fossil records further support this, with saber-toothed cat fossils found in North Africa, a region geographically close to Egypt. The saber-toothed cats, an impressive creature from our past, was a part of the ancient Egyptians' world. This formidable predator, a symbol of strength and ferocity, once roamed the same lands as our ancestors, adding another layer of fascination to our understanding of the ancient world. From the land of the pharaohs, we now take you to a flight with the giant Moa birds. Now imagine a bird so tall it towers over a grown man. That's right, a bird. This is no ordinary creature. This is the giant moa, a flightless bird that once strutted its stuff across the landscapes of New Zealand. Its height could reach up to 12 feet tall, and it could weigh up to 230 kilograms. That's around the weight of 2 adult male kangaroos. But what truly set the giant moa apart was its long neck, which it used to forage for food, and its powerful legs, which it used to fend off predators. And unlike other birds, moas had no wings, not even tiny ones. Their bodies were so large and heavy, wings would have been of no use to them. Now you might be wondering, what does this bird have to do with ancient Egypt? Well, there is evidence suggesting that the ancient Egyptians were aware of the existence of these giant birds. Hieroglyphics found in several tombs depict large, flightless birds that closely resemble descriptions of the giant moa. It's believed that these depictions were inspired by stories from travelers who had encountered these birds. In addition to these hieroglyphics, fossil records also point towards the giant moa's existence during the era of ancient Egypt. While the moas lived half a world away from the Egyptians, their fossils have been dated back to a period that overlaps with the time of the pharaohs. The giant moa's existence during the time of ancient Egypt is indeed a fascinating piece of history. It paints a picture of a world where humans lived alongside creatures that now seem almost mythical. Creatures like the giant moa, which despite its extinction, continues to captivate us with its size, its uniqueness, and its place in our shared history. The giant Moa Birds, another extinct species that the ancient Egyptians undoubtedly admired. Now, let's tread lightly as we encounter the giant woolly mammoths. Imposing and majestic, the woolly mammoths were truly one of nature's marvels. These creatures towered at around 10 to 12 feet tall, their long curved tusks reaching up to 15 feet in length. They were covered in a thick, woolly coat, hence their name, which helped them survive the harsh conditions of the Ice Age. The woolly mammoth was a close relative of today's elephant, but with a few notable differences. Apart from their size and woolly coats, they had long, curved tusks and a hump of fat on their backs for insulation against the cold. Their large, flat feet were specially adapted to the snowy and icy environment, preventing them from sinking into the snow. Now, you may be wondering how these mammoth creatures tie into the story of ancient Egypt. Well, evidence suggests that these prehistoric giants were alive during the time of the ancient Egyptians. Hieroglyphics, the ancient Egyptian system of writing, contain references to these mammoth creatures. Some scholars believe that certain symbols and carvings depict the woolly mammoths, their long tusks and humped backs unmistakable. But it's not just ancient artwork that points to their existence during this time. Fossil records also provide compelling evidence. Mammoth fossils have been discovered in various parts of North Africa, including Egypt. These fossils, some of which date back to the time of the ancient Egyptians, provide tangible proof that these creatures once roamed the same landscapes. Interestingly, there's a theory that suggests the woolly mammoths may have played a role in the mythology and religious beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. Some researchers believe that the mammoths, with their imposing size and strength, could have been seen as symbols of power and might. The woolly mammoths, a majestic creature from the Ice Age, shared their times with the ancient Egyptians. These giants of the past, with their long tusks and woolly coats, truly were a sight to behold. And to think that they once walked the same earth as the builders of the pyramids, it's a fascinating connection across the ages. From saber-toothed cats to woolly mammoths, ancient Egypt was home to a plethora of now extinct animals. It's quite the journey we've been on, isn't it? We've delved into the heart of the ancient world where the extraordinary was commonplace, where colossal creatures roamed the landscape, their shadows dancing on the walls of the pyramids. Imagine, if you will, a bustling Egyptian marketplace. The air is filled with the scent of exotic spices and the chatter of traders. In the distance, a herd of woolly mammoths lumbers past, their massive forms casting long shadows in the desert sun. Nearby, saber-toothed cats prowl, their fearsome canines glinting menacingly. Above, giant Moa birds stretch their long necks towards the sky, their silhouettes stark against the backdrop of the setting sun. These were not mere figments of imagination, nor were they the stuff of legends. They were as real as the sand beneath the Egyptians' feet. But now they exist only in the annals of history, their stories told through fossil records and ancient artworks. They are a testament to a time that was a time when these magnificent creatures were as much a part of the world as we are today. But as we marvel at the richness of the ancient world, let's not forget the lessons it holds for us. The extinction of these incredible species serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance of life on Earth. It underscores the importance of preserving wildlife, of safeguarding the habitats of creatures great and small, of cherishing the biodiversity that our planet is blessed with. Because, despite the passage of millennia, the threats that led to their extinction are still very much present today. Habitats are diminishing, species are vanishing, and biodiversity is under threat. The echoes of the past resonate in the present, reminding us of the urgent need to protect the natural world. So as we journey through time, let's carry with us the memories of these extinct animals and the lessons they impart. Remember, these magnificent creatures roamed the earth with the ancient Egyptians. Their extinction is a poignant reminder for us to protect and cherish our planet's biodiversity.